The late summer sun cast a golden hue over the small town of Ashton Falls as Emily Carter leaned against the railing of her porch, sipping on her iced tea. Her fingers nervously traced the condensation on the glass, her heart full of anticipation. Inside the house, she could hear the clinking of dishes and the faint laughter of her younger sister, Lily, and their mom as they prepared dinner. But her thoughts were far away, lost in a future she hadn't quite seen yet. That future had a name. His name was Ryan Bennett. Ryan wasn't flashy. He didn't have the kind of charm that turned heads in a crowd. But he had this calm presence, like the steady hands of a clock, always reliable, always there. And to Emily, that had always mattered more than fleeting thrills or grand gestures. Ryan had been her best friend before he was ever her boyfriend. They'd grown up on the same street, walked to school together, and shared every milestone of small-town life. But in recent years, their bond had deepened into something sacred, something that made Emily believe in forever. He had proposed 2 weeks ago, not in front of a crowd or on a mountaintop, but under the old oak tree in her parents' backyard, the one they used to climb as kids. The moment had been quiet, heartfelt, and deeply personal. And Emily had said yes with tears in her eyes. But now, as the wedding planning began and the excitement swirled, so did a quiet fear inside her. Not doubt, never about Ryan, but about what came with marriage. The world often painted weddings as fairy tales, but Emily knew real love required more than beautiful dresses and Instagram-perfect photos. Real love, she believed, demanded effort, patience, and most of all, commitment. Later that evening, as the cicadas began their nightly hum and the air cooled, Ryan pulled up in his dusty blue pickup truck. He hopped out, flashed her that crooked smile she adored, and walked up the steps. "You okay?" he asked, pressing a gentle kiss to her forehead. Emily gave a small nod, then gestured toward the porch swing. They sat side by side, their fingers automatically intertwining. "I've been thinking," she said softly, her eyes fixed on the horizon. "That sounds dangerous," Ryan teased lightly, though his gaze was earnest. She smiled faintly. "I love you, Ryan. And I'm going to marry you. But before we go any further, I need you to understand something." He leaned in, brows furrowing slightly. "Marriage," she said, "isn't just a day in a dress or saying vows in front of everyone. It's waking up next to each other every morning, even after a fight. It's choosing each other when things aren't easy. I know I'm not always simple, and I don't expect either of us to be perfect. But I want us to walk into this knowing it's a commitment. Not just love, but hard work, patience, and loyalty." Ryan was quiet for a long moment. Then he gently took both her hands. "Emily," he said, "I don't want perfect. I just want you. I've known from the beginning that real love isn't just holding hands at the fair or laughing over movie nights. It's late-night arguments, making sacrifices, and showing up even when it's tough. I don't want a wedding, I want a life with you. So yeah, I understand. Marriage is commitment. And I'm all in." Her chest tightened with emotion as his words sank in. She hadn't needed a grand declaration, just this kind of honesty, this kind of clarity. Over the next few weeks, wedding planning picked up pace. There were cake tastings, fittings, guest lists, and more opinions than Emily ever thought possible. Yet through all the chaos, there was a calm at the center of it. Ryan. Whether he was tying ribbons on invitations or showing up to support her during her moments of stress, he never wavered. And she met him halfway, compromising when she wanted things her way, listening more deeply, understanding more clearly. There were hiccups, of course. Like when Ryan's mom suggested inviting cousins Emily had never even met, or when the florist canceled last minute, leaving them scrambling. But instead of turning on each other, they tackled the problems together. And one evening about a month before the wedding, something unexpected happened. They were attending premarital counseling at the local church, something suggested by Ryan's aunt. Emily had gone in half-heartedly, unsure what to expect. But the counselor, Reverend Joseph, surprised her. He didn't lecture or preach. Instead, he simply asked, "What does commitment look like to you?" Ryan had spoken first. It's sticking around, no matter what, even when you're tired, even when it's not exciting. Emily nodded. It's trust. It's waking up every day and choosing to be kind, even when you're hurting, even when you don't feel like it. Reverend Joseph had smiled. Then you already understand what many take a lifetime to figure out. That night, Emily and Ryan sat under the stars again, much like the night he proposed. Their shoulders touched, their breathing matched, and no words were needed. They were two people who saw love not as a story with a happy ending, but as one with thousands of chapters still to write. The wedding came on a warm September afternoon. Family and friends gathered beneath the oak tree, now adorned with twinkling lights and soft drapes. Emily walked down the aisle in a simple, elegant gown, her heart full, not just with love but with resolve. When the vows were exchanged, Emily's voice trembled. Ryan, I don't just promise to love you. I promise to grow with you, to challenge you when needed, to forgive, to celebrate the good days, and hold your hand through the bad ones. I will never take our love for granted. And I will never walk away. Ryan's eyes glistened with tears as he responded. Emily, I vow to never stop choosing you. Not just when it's easy, but when it's hard, confusing, and messy. I promise to build a life with you based on truth, trust, and commitment. They sealed it with a kiss, and the applause rose like music around them. But more importantly, there was a quiet understanding in their hearts that this was just the beginning. Years passed, and life, as expected, brought change. They had their share of challenges. Their first year was filled with learning, figuring out how to balance careers, family expectations, and their own dreams. Ryan's father passed away, leaving him heartbroken, and Emily stood by him in the silence, holding space for his grief. Then came the unexpected news. Emily was pregnant. They hadn't planned it, but they embraced it. Parenthood tested their limits. Sleepless nights, toddler tantrums, and trying to keep their relationship strong amidst it all. There were moments when Emily felt she'd lost herself, and Ryan felt overwhelmed. But every time things got rough, they remembered the conversation on the porch swing. The commitment, the choice to stay, to show up. One stormy night, after a rough day of work and fussy kids, Emily broke down. She sat on the bathroom floor, tears streaming silently. She didn't even hear Ryan come in. He knelt beside her, took her hand and said, "You don't have to do it alone. We're in this together." She looked at him, raw and real, and whispered, "I'm scared sometimes. That I'm not doing enough. That I'm not strong enough." Ryan cupped her face gently. "Emily, strength isn't pretending everything's okay. It's facing the storm and letting someone hold the umbrella with you." They embraced on that floor, and something shifted. Their love, already deep, found new roots. As the years rolled by, they grew. They built a small business, Talk.